Number 10, Jessica Simpson. It appears that both Jessica Simpson and Ryan Gosling knew about Timberlake's shady ways for quite some time. During an interview, Simpson revealed that Timberlake had come over to her house many years ago after she had just come out of a divorce and Timberlake was fresh out of a relationship. But things escalated a little quicker than Simpson was anticipating, and the two ended up sharing a passionate kiss together. Simpson was initially very excited about this, as she was under the impression that there was a bit of a spark between the two, but she recounted how immediately after the kiss, JT pulled out his phone and started texting someone. Well, it turns out that that someone was none other than Ryan Gosling, and he revealed that he had made a bet with the Barbie actor when they were just 12 years old about who would kiss their Mickey Mouse Clubhouse star first. While there's a good chance Gosling probably forgot all about the bet and moved on since he was a functioning adult, it seems like Timberlake just never grew up and totally embarrassed Simpson. Number 9, Prince. The lead singer was a very likable person and didn't really have many enemies, but Justin Timberlake clearly wasn't too pleased with how the Purple Rain singer responded to one of his songs. After Timberlake released his hit song Back, Prince replied that he never left. While it didn't really seem like too much, JT really took the comment to heart and decided to call out Prince in his song Give It To Me when he said, "We missed you on the charts last week. Damn, that's right, you wasn't there." On top of that, many people were a little annoyed with JT when he accepted the Golden Globe for Best Original Song in a Motion Picture on Prince's behalf, and he decided to bend down to mimic Prince's small stature. The real cherry on top of the bizarre feud was when Justin displayed a hologram of Prince during his Super Bowl halftime performance after the late singer stated that the whole practice of holograms was demonic. Number 8, Britney Spears. This is a name that we will be seeing and hearing a lot of when it comes to Justin Timberlake. She really didn't have many good things to say about her ex-boyfriend in her new memoir, and she made some absolutely shocking revelations about her fellow singer. Now, while Timberlake had his own view on things back in the day, and many people initially felt bad for him after he claimed Spears cheated on him, it appears Britney had her own shocking side to the story. Spears is on the set of the music video for Overprotected Dark Child Remix when she mysteriously went missing for an hour on the second day of filming. Director Chris Applebaum revealed that he found the singer in her trailer where she was bawling her eyes out. That is when she revealed her phone to Applebaum and showed him that she had received a text message from Justin Timberlake which simply read, "It's over." Now, for two people who had such a long history together, that was a pretty cold way to end things, and as you will see later in this video, it wasn't the only time that JT caused some heartbreak for Britney. Number 7, SZA. Justin Timberlake has had a number of mishaps on television before, but this one really struck a chord with a lot of people who were in the audience and at home watching on TV. The two superstars appeared together on The Ellen Show along with Anderson .Paak to speak about their roles in the Troll World Tour. However, while Timberlake and Paak had every opportunity to answer the questions that were answered directly to them, Timberlake decided he wanted to try and crack open the jokes while SZA was trying to answer Ellen's questions. Timberlake kept interrupting and saying, "What are you doing to him, sis?" while using what many described as a black scent way of speaking. Aside from the fact that he was undermining SZA and not giving her the chance to answer Ellen's questions directly, many people did not take too kindly to Timberlake's fake accent. He's faced a bit of heat over being racially insensitive on numerous occasions, and this incident definitely didn't help his case. Number 6, Jessica Biel. This was more a case of the internet warning everyone about Justin Timberlake was doing to his wife. It seems like JT just can't keep his hands off anyone as he was photographed holding hands with his Palmer co-star, Alicia Wainwright. While that may not seem like too big of a deal to some people, it should be noted that Biel was pregnant with her and Justin's second child at the time. This obviously sent the internet into a huge frenzy as many people believed the singer and actor was cheating on his wife, and it sparked so much trouble that Timberlake actually had to post a public statement on Instagram. Timberlake let everyone know that nothing was happening between him and his co-star, but he acknowledged the fact that it was a severe lapse in judgment. He also noted that it caused serious issues for Biel and his family and seeked forgiveness for his actions, but it's pretty clear that his judgment in these kinds of scenarios is not the greatest. Number 5, Kylie Minogue. Justin Timberlake found himself in hot water again over a video of him performing with Kylie Minogue at the 2003 Brit Awards in London. And with everything that's on the internet, this one has resurfaced on Instagram in the wake of the JT controversy. In the video, Justin is seen grabbing Kylie's behind while they're performing. and according to reports, he had apparently asked her for permission before the performance, but she refused. Later on, he even bragged about representing America to the fullest by copying a feel. So that's exactly the kind of person that Justin is. He has a history of harming women, and this is all a part of it. You might think this wasn't a big deal, but the fact that Kylie refused and he still went ahead and did it is a huge indication of his entitlement. This is hardly the first time Justin has been embroiled in a controversy involving a female pop star though. This wasn't a big deal, but the fact that Kylie refused and he still went ahead and did it is a huge indication of his entitlement. This is hardly the first time Justin has been embroiled in a controversy involving a female pop star though. In recent years, the once seemingly untouchable president of pop has been going through a reckoning. He's been the subject of many a think piece about the double standards women face in the music industry, so it makes sense that people are now looking back on his controversial moments and talking about his red flags. Number 4, Michelle Williams. From reflecting on some of her most iconic performances to shedding light on her conservatorship, Britney Spears' memoir is the gift that keeps on giving. Now, thanks to the audiobook, we also have a recording of Michelle Williams doing an impression of Justin Timberlake while narrating the memoir. A clip from the audiobook has since gone viral and has almost 17 million views. In the clip, Michelle recounts the embarrassing moment Britney and Justin ran into R&B singer Genuine. She said, "One day, Jay and I were in New York going to parts of town I'd never been to before. Walking our way was a guy with a huge blinged out medallion. He was flanked by 2 giant security guards, and Jay got all excited and said so loud, 'Oh yeah, faux shiz, Genuine, what's up, homie?' Britney said that Justin wasn't even embarrassed when her assistants started mocking him for the incident. In the memoir, Britney explained that she sometimes thought Justin and his group NSYNC tried too hard to fit in with hip-hop artists that they hung out with. The clip sent internet users into a frenzy, with many people joking about Michelle's hilarious impression of Justin Timberlake. Number 3, Britney Spears Part 2. Yeah, there is a lot about JT in the Britney Spears memoir, and so much so that she deserves to be on this list multiple times. While things obviously did not end well between Timberlake and Spears, it turns out there was a pretty shocking moment that happened during the relationship that more than likely was the beginning of the end. Back in 2000, Britney discovered that she was pregnant with Timberlake's child and was very excited that she was going to get the chance to start a family with her partner. However, JT didn't see eye to eye with Spears and believed that they were too young to raise a child together and wanted absolutely no part in starting a family at the time. This left Spears with a very difficult decision to make, and unfortunately it ended up with her going against her wishes and getting in a Britney revealed that if the choice had been left solely up to her, she would have gone through with the pregnancy and started a family, and this may have changed her path in life for the better. Number 2, Amanda Seales. Yes, it turns out the SZA incident was not the only time that JT was called out for being racially insensitive. Following the terrible killing of Ahmaud Arbery back in February 2020, many people took to social media to show their support for the victim's family and denounce racially motivated hate crimes. Timberlake joined in on the public outcry by posting a black and white photo of Arbery with the caption, "If you're not outraged, you should be. Justice for Ahmaud Arbery." Well, this initially seemed like a nice tribute while also calling attention to the changes that need to be made in society. Amanda Seales made a post calling out Timberlake for turning off the comments on his post. She stated that he had to be more of an ally and get in the weeds with his fans who are also fans of racist rhetoric. Seales even started her own hashtag #TurnHimOn to call out other celebrities like Timberlake who didn't want to call out their racist followers and help shed even more light on the persistent problems of racism. And number 1, Janet Jackson. Who on earth could forget about this one? It was the ultimate gaffe in the history of Super Bowl gaffes, and one that has lingered over the heads of JT and Janet Jackson since it happened. Of course, we all remember the incident like it was yesterday when Timberlake made the huge mistake of exposing Janet Jackson's chest to millions of people around the world on live TV, and this landed the 2 performers as well as television broadcasters in some serious hot water with the FCC. The incident meant that Janet Jackson was never allowed to perform at a Super Bowl again. However, Timberlake, who caused the incident in the first place, was invited back in 2018 to perform at the biggest football game of the year as a solo act. Well, even though more than a decade had passed since his last appearance, many people believe that he shouldn't have returned at all after his actions at the 2004 edition. He clearly embarrassed Jackson in a terrible way, and many people believed he never learned from his past mistake.
Number 10. Jesse Eisenberg. Having just seen the film The Social Network this past week, I understand where the star of this film may be coming from. In The Social Network, Justin plays Sean Parker, a real person who famously invented Napster and was then arrested and charged for a number of misdeeds, only briefly covered in the movie. In the years that have followed, Jesse Eisenberg has been fairly closed off about his time on set. And why wouldn't he be? He's Jesse Eisenberg. There are probably a million DC fans out there ready to cave his face in at a moment's notice. However, when he's pressed about his time working on The Social Network, there is one constant. Justin Timberlake did a great job. When someone does an incredible job on set, it's usually a really good thing, but not when the person they're playing is known to be a playboy with a penchant for the underage. Now, while there is of course nothing tying Justin's personality to Sean Parker, I just gotta say, after watching him in the role, after everything that's going on, it's scary how many times I forgot I was watching a movie. But then again, that could just be Justin Timberlake. He's just good at acting. Number 9. Janet Jackson. In 2004, a wardrobe malfunction shook the entire world because it was 2004, nothing crazy happened yet. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake were performing together during the halftime show at the Super Bowl when Justin accidentally exposed Janet to the audience, specifically her left friend. According to Justin's team, he was only meant to remove a rubber part of the costume to reveal some red lace underneath, but MTV released a statement claiming that the situation was unrehearsed, unplanned, and inconsistent with assurances that they had about the content of their performers. They claimed they had no idea that this was even happening until the very last minute. In fact, for some reason, Janet received most of the backlash from the event when it was Justin that exposed her to the crowd. Janet released a public apology, basically absolving MTV of any wrongdoing, but Justin's apology was a little harder to watch. At that year's Grammy Awards, Justin took the stage to accept his award for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance for Cry Me a River. In order for him to be allowed on the stage, though, he was made to issue a public apology for the Janet Jackson incident. The dumbest thing about the whole deal is that Janet was made to apologize for something that she basically had no control over and that was just an accident, while Justin was given a little tap on the wrist. Number 8. Britney Spears. It should come as no surprise to anyone that Britney Spears is one of the first people that I'll be including on this list. She literally wrote a ton of stuff about this man in her memoir, exposing every little secret that he once held close. The world now knows that Britney almost had a baby with him, but that he encouraged her to not have it, something that she went through with and regrets to this day. Now, I've not personally read Britney's memoir yet, however, it is on my wish list, so we'll see how much terrible info is on this man and its pages. One thing that was revealed and is public knowledge now is just how much shame Britney felt when Justin released the song Cry Me a River, directly throwing shade and blame at Britney Spears. Too bad for Britney, it's a very catchy song. Some people around the world listen to Cry Me a River, a song where Justin claimed Britney had cheated on him, while in her book she reveals the opposite happened and he actually cheated on her. The entire argument is only solved when you choose a side. I personally just don't care about either of these people one way or another, so hey, you be the judge. Number 7. Jesse Williams. In 2016, Jesse Williams delivered an incredible speech about aggression amongst police officers that was well received by a lot of people. One person who did not receive that speech super clearly was Justin. Justin decided to voice his opinions on the situation to his Twitter page. I know it's called X, I've read your comments, I just truly and wholeheartedly do not care. It's Twitter in my books and always will be. It's the same reason I don't call Facebook Meta, it just feels wrong. Justin posted to his feed that he forgets this forum sometimes. He was truly inspired by Jesse Williams' speech because he really did feel that we are all one. Quote, a human race. He received so much backlash that he was forced to remove the tweet and publicly apologize for the lap in judgment, something that Justin apparently does all the time. Jesse himself never responded to the tweet, but that right there is the biggest warning signal of all. Detachment. Number 6. Jessica Biel. Justin's current wife is no stranger to her husband being a pain in the neck. One night a few years back, Justin was spotted holding hands with his Palmer co-star Alicia Wainwright while he was still very much married to Jessica. Of course, the internet, being what it is, saw this man holding another woman's hand and automatically assumed that he was cheating on Jessica. Now, I'm sorry, but that's very stupid. If you saw that picture back in the day and assumed that that was happening, hey, guess what you are too, man? Justin was forced to release a public statement clarifying that he had in fact not done anything bad with his co-star at all. He had a bit too much no-no juice and he was not paying attention to how he was acting. He claims to have grown close to his co-star, but in more of a brother-sister kind of way. Jessica forgave him, but he continued to showcase a pattern of careless actions. He's used offensive accents and languages during interviews and even while on stage performing his music. Because Justin associates himself with rap a lot, he seems to think that he's good to use slang and speak with an accent that just doesn't really sound right coming out of this guy. Jessica and Justin actually posted a photo together on Instagram with the caption, "Here we come, and dang, my wife is hot, hashtag time's up, hashtag we wear black." For those of you who may have forgotten, hashtag time's up and the fact that everyone was wearing black at the Grammys was to stand in solidarity with survivors of mistreatment. So maybe calling your wife hot was a bad move. Number 5, Justin himself. If there is one man on this planet who has put his foot in his own mouth time and time again, it's Justin Timberlake. Before the year 2010, this man had appeared in so many stages, so many different forums, that there is at least one little slip-up recorded at all of them. For instance, when Justin was introducing Madonna at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he made a comment that the world was full of people trying to imitate Madonna, and that he may have dated one at one point. This was in direct reference to Britney, and it made him look like a jerk to fans. He also likes to interrupt people in interviews and bombard them with criticism, but we'll get into that in a moment. This man has been making his name known around the world for a very long time, not just during his time with NSYNC, but after as well. There are a ton of on-stage instances with Justin and some other celebrities, and off-stage as well. This man was in the middle of a podcast in the early 2000s and literally told the host that he did in fact F Britney Spears. Number 4, Prince. Holograms are slowly becoming more and more normalized in the world. I was at a carnival over the summer and I literally saw a row of holographic projectors showcasing company logos and gaming items. I cannot describe to you how confusing and cool that was at the same time. The late great musician Prince made his views on holograms very public before his passing. In his world, the idea of projecting a hologram, especially one of someone who's deceased, is just straight up demonic. It's like you're taking a piece of their soul and exploiting it on stage. So when Justin started talking about using a hologram of Prince to perform alongside him at the Super Bowl, Prince's former drummer and his ex-fiancée told him that that was not happening. Okay? Prince made his views very clear and his wishes are no fakers. Justin initially agreed, but instead of performing with a hologram, a large sheet was dropped over the stage and a projection of Prince singing a track from his Purple Rain album was shown. Now, while not a hologram, this is still super creepy and made a lot of people uncomfortable. Number 3, Jessica Simpson. Betting your friend to do something stupid? Now that's awesome, it's so much fun. Betting your friend to do something to another person? Ew, gross, no thank you. Of course, in this case, the bet was made when Justin and his childhood friend Ryan Gosling were just 12 years old. The bet was to see who could kiss a certain girl first, that girl being Jessica Simpson. As luck would have it, Jessica and Justin crossed paths a few times over the years and eventually sparked a romantic connection in 2006 following Simpson's split from Nick Lachey. During their brief romance, she recalls a time when she spotted Justin texting someone moments after they locked lips. To her, this meant that maybe she did a bad job or that he was messaging another girl, but it turned out that he was texting Ryan Gosling, Ken himself, just to let him know that he had indeed lost the bet. She then admitted that she had a small crush on Ryan growing up and that Justin was lucky to have gotten there first. They of course broke up, but Jessica has very little to say in negative reference towards Justin, so sorry. Number 2, SZA. Musician SZA had to deal with Justin in a very public way on the now cancelled Ellen DeGeneres show. SZA and Justin were brought onto the show to discuss a collaboration, but it seemed like whenever Ellen would ask a question, Justin felt that it was necessary to give his answer. On top of that, he continuously calls her sis and speaks with what many people agree are stereotypical catchphrases and mannerisms usually linked to people of color. So, many people took to Twitter following the interview to ask, why was he talking over her so much? What was with the voice? And if this man calls her sis one more time, people didn't know what they were gonna do. He was accused of cultural appropriation, only speaking this way when SZA was there. But as many people know, Justin doesn't tend to speak with a specific mannerism outside of that. The interview was uncomfortable and clearly started some kind of a tension between these two. And at number 1, Justin himself. Taking the top spot and making a reappearance on this list is Justin Timberlake. In doing research for this video, I found like over 20 examples of this dude making a little bit of a fool of himself in public. He pretended to be Prince at the Golden Globes one year by crouching down to 5'2" and doing a terrible impression of him. He has a passion for imitation though, as he also did this with Rihanna's mother as he accepted his American Music Award for Best Male Soul and R&B Singer. He doesn't research the name of things before he uses them, like when he released a song called Take Back the Night, which is also the name of an anti-mistreatment organization, and he literally paid someone to pretend to be Britney Spears and crash a car on camera for his music video to What Goes Around Comes Around. I could go on all day about why this guy's not great, but I'll do that in another video. Number 10, Dana White. Dana White's no stranger to the concept of sharing his opinion, no matter how wild and aggressive that it might be. A little while back, Dana went on an unprompted rant condemning the actions of Justin Timberlake and claiming that he was a massive D-bag. According to Dana, he ran into Justin at an event in Los Angeles and he didn't like him. Only a short while after meeting JT, Dana was caught describing him with so many no-no words that clip is worth a watch if you haven't seen it before. Dana went on to explain that the event was the Nickelodeon Awards, where he decided to bring his family. Now, despite his little ones being massive fans of Justin, he said that Justin never greeted his kids, which upset the president of the UFC. Following the rant on his podcast, he actually revealed that himself and JT are on decent speaking terms. Apparently, Justin called him after the rant to apologize and clear the air. Fans of White were completely caught off guard though when they first heard this man go off, as there was nothing that seemed to connect Justin to Dana White beforehand. Little did UFC fans know that Dana tries to be a decent dad by bringing his family to the slimiest awards show of all time. Number 9, SZA. Musician SZA had to deal with Justin in a very public way on the now cancelled Ellen DeGeneres show. SZA and Justin were brought onto the show to discuss a collaboration, but it seemed like whenever Ellen would ask a question, Justin just felt that it was necessary to give the answer. On top of that, he continuously calls her sis and speaks with what many agree are stereotypical catchphrases and mannerisms usually linked to people of color. So many people took to Twitter following the interview to ask why he was talking over her so much, what was with his weird voice, and if this man calls her sis one more time, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He was accused of cultural appropriation, only speaking this way when SZA was there. But as many know, Justin doesn't really tend to speak with any specific mannerisms. The interview was uncomfortable and clearly started some tension between these two, so it's no shock to learn that SZA has openly refused to work or collaborate with this man ever again at any point in time. Number 8, Ryan Gosling. Ryan and Justin met when they were very little and just starting out in the acting world. First working together on the set of The Mickey Mouse Club, when the cast included people like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Carrie Russell. Fun fact about Ryan's time on the show, he actually stayed with Justin Timberlake and his mom while he was working. Ryan is a Canadian treasure, but of course, London, Ontario is not where the Mickey Mouse Club was filmed. When Justin was recently asked if Ryan and himself kept in touch, the answer was a swift, no, not really. He gave no reason to justify the gap in friendship, and there really was a friendship there. According to Justin, they lived under the same roof. They shared a bathroom and a kitchen and basically an entire life. They were basically brothers, and Justin told the stories of the pair stealing golf carts and driving around the MGM studios, which was super illegal. They were actually super close for a really long time. So what split them apart? Well, it's the same thing that happens to most of us. They were friends when they were young, and as time went on, they just kind of grew apart. Justin went into music and started working with NSYNC, and Ryan branched off into his own career and he became Knuff. Number 7, Jesse Eisenberg. If you have ever seen the film The Social Network, you might understand where Jesse is coming from. In The Social Network, Justin Timberlake plays Sean Parker, who is a real person who famously invented Napster and was then arrested and charged for a number of misdeeds that are only briefly covered in this movie. In the years that have followed, Jesse Eisenberg has been fairly closed off about his time on set, and why wouldn't he be? He's Jesse Eisenberg. There are a ton of DC fans out there just ready to cave his face in at a moment's notice. However, when he is pressed about his time working on The Social Network, there is one constant, and that is that Justin Timberlake did a great job. Now, when someone does an incredible job on set, that's usually a great thing, but not when the person they're playing is a known playboy with a penchant for the underaged. While there is, of course, nothing tying Justin's personality to Sean Parker, it did not sit well with Jesse, and so far they have yet to work together again. Number 6, Cirque du Soleil. Justin has been involved in a handful of lawsuits in his life, from super personal issues to highly public ones. This is by far the strangest lawsuit involving Justin Timberlake that I have ever stumbled upon. Justin was sued for some kind of copyright infringement, stealing parts of a song from Cirque du Soleil's Steel Dream, a song that appeared in Quidam, their 9th stage production, and later an album released in 1997. The accusations surrounding Justin's 2013 track Don't Hold the Wall from his 2020 Experience album. Now, of course, Justin received no permission to do that, and the company who owned the original decided to take back their tunes. They were seeking $800,000 from the suit, which was eventually settled. The suit named not just Justin, but his production company as well, so not a great time. Eventually, the entire thing was settled, but it would not be the first time that Justin was involved with a copyright lawsuit, and certainly not the last. Number 5, Jessica Simpson. Betting your friends to do something stupid is pretty fun, right? Well, betting your friends to do something to another person is a little bit gross. Of course, in this case, there was a bet made by Justin and Ryan Gosling when they were still living together at the age of 12. The bet was to see who could kiss a certain girl first, that girl being Jessica Simpson. As luck would have it, Jessica and Justin crossed paths a few times over the years, and eventually they got together in 2006 following Simpson's split from Nick Lachey. During their brief romance, she recalls a time when she spotted Justin texting someone only moments after they locked lips. To her, this meant that maybe she did a bad job, or he was messaging another girl being like, "Get me out of here," but it turned out that he was texting Ryan Gosling to let him know that he had indeed lost the bet. She had then admitted that she had a small crush on Ryan growing up, and that Justin was lucky to be the first one there. They of course broke up, and ever since the two have been okay. They don't work together, perform together, so things aren't perfect. Number 4, Janet Jackson. In 2004, a wardrobe malfunction shook the world. Janet and Justin were performing together on stage when Justin accidentally exposed Janet's left thingamabobber to the audience. According to Justin's team, he was only meant to remove a rubber part of the costume and reveal a red lace bra, but MTV released a statement claiming that the situation was unrehearsed, unplanned, and inconsistent with the assurances they had about the content of their performers. They claimed that they had no idea that this was even happening until the very last minute. In fact, for some reason, Janet received a lot of backlash for the event when, it was Justin Timberlake that exposed her to the crowd. Janet released a public apology, basically absolving MTV of any wrongdoing, but Justin's apology was just a little harder to watch. At that year's Grammy Awards, Justin took the stage to accept an award for Best Male Vocal Pop Performance for Cry Me a River, but in order for him to actually go on stage, he had to make a public apology for the Janet Jackson incident. The dumbest thing about the whole deal is that Janet was made to apologize for something that she basically had no control over, while Justin was just getting a little love tap on the wrist. Since the incident, Janet has publicly claimed that Justin is 100% to blame for this incident, and had it just been her on stage, nothing would have happened. Number 3, Britney Spears. Shocking, right? No? Thought so. I mean, she literally wrote about this man in her memoir, The Woman in Me, like a lot. The world now knows that Britney almost had a baby with him, but that he encouraged her not to have it, something that she went through with and regrets to this day. I've not personally read the book yet, however, it is on my wish list, so we'll see how much terrible stuff there really is about Justin Timberlake amongst its pages. One thing that was revealed that is public knowledge is just how much shame Britney felt when Justin released the song Cry Me a River. It directly threw shade and blamed Britney Spears. Now, too bad for Britney, it is a catchy song. So, many people around the world listen to Cry Me a River, a song where Justin was claiming Britney had cheated on him, while in her book she reveals the opposite happened, and he actually cheated on her. Number 2, Prince. Holograms are slowly becoming more and more normalized in the world. I was at a carnival over the summer and saw a row of holograms that were just showcasing company logos and game items, and I can't describe to you how confusing and cool that was at the same time. The late great musician Prince made his views on holograms very public before his passing. In his world, the idea of projecting a hologram, especially one of someone who is deceased, is demonic. It's like you're taking their soul and just exploiting it. So when Justin started talking about using a hologram of Prince to perform alongside him at a Super Bowl performance, Prince's former drummer and his ex-fiancée said that was not happening. Prince made his views very clear, and his wishes were no fakers, so Justin initially agreed, but instead of performing with a hologram, a large sheet was dropped over the stage and a projection of Prince singing a track from his Purple Rain album was shown. Now, while it's not a hologram, it was still super duper creepy and made a lot of people uncomfortable. And at number 1, Justin Timberlake. In doing research for this, I found like 20 examples of this guy making a fool of himself in public. He's pretended to be Prince of the Golden Globes one year by crouching down to 5'2" and doing a terrible impression of him. He actually has a penchant for imitation. He also did that to Rihanna's mom as he accepted his American Music Award for Best Male Soul and R&B Singer. It is a rough clip. Now, he doesn't research the name of things before he uses them, like when he released a song called Take Back the Night, which is also the name of an anti-mistreatment organization. He literally paid someone to pretend to be Britney and crash into a car on He literally paid someone to pretend to be Britney Spears and crash a car on camera for his music video till what goes around comes around. Come on, if there is one man on this planet who has put his foot in his own mouth time and time again, it's Justin Timberlake. Now, before the year 2010, this man had appeared on so many stages in so many different forums. There is at least one little Justin slip-up recorded at them all. For instance, when Justin was introducing Madonna at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he made a comment that the world was full of people trying to imitate Madonna, and that he might have dated one. This was in direct reference to Britney and honestly just made him look like an absolute jerk.